Hey, yous guys, welcome to You Be Aight Podcast, presented by AML Media. Love you, Mom. I'm Gene Labordi. My co-host, Stephen Labordi, working all the hard work, doing all the good stuff, is Rachel Labordi. This is You Be Aight Podcast. Thanks for joining us. Let's go have some fun. I'm losing all this weight. I got these sensitive little hands now. My skin's all sensitive. If I had jiggly hands...
Jiggly hands and feet.
Yeah. Welcome to You Be Aight Podcast, presented by AML Media. I am Gene Labordi, my co-host Stephen Labordi, Rachel behind the scenes doing all the hard work. This You Be Aight Podcast. If in the last episode you haven't listened, it proves that you will be all right. I almost died, and now my body's going through these crazy transformations, and I'm all right. It's a little weird. I gotta figure out a new way of living life, which at 31 is, I guess, it's better than later. I guess sooner than better.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I'm locked into some things that I gotta figure out a way to not care about anymore, such as watching my sodium. That's a whole lot of fun. Checking labels in a grocery market.
That's the easiest.
It should be easier. Hey, big companies that make food, I know you don't care about us, and I think you're actively trying to kill us for human population reasons, but if you're doing all this technology with getting sugar out of food, could we try and do a little bit getting some sodium out of the food, or making an alternative that's not just like low sodium tomato soup is just red food dye and water.
Yeah, low sodium options usually don't taste great.
And we grew up just putting salt on everything.
I think most people do. But it's really anything that's prepackaged and preserved.
Yeah, I guess salt is the ultimate, for civilization, salt has been needed to preserve everything.
It's been that way for a long, long time. But yeah, there's no good alternative apparently to salt.
Yeah, you would think with all the, they got Ozempics making people skinny. They got all these medicines. You can fix your eyes and all this stuff, but they haven't figured out a sodium alternative that's halfway decent.
MSG.
Yeah.
Isn't MSG actually just salt? That's what they call it in Chinese food.
I was thinking about you last night while eating Chinese food. I was like, damn, he can't eat any of this.
What'd you get?
It's General Tso's.
Just
pork fried rice, platter, 2 egg rolls.
I've been craving egg foo young.
That's I never like that. I don't like that people like that. I think it's a gross item.
It is weird because
gravy on eggs.
Yeah, but the way they do those eggs are so fluffy and they're a little wet. But I don't know.
I feel like most people around our age either love egg foo young or have never even heard.
Or never heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the only reason I know of it is because of Mom.
Yeah.
And I feel like she got it when she was on a diet at one point. That was the food she could get on
Atkins or some shit.
Remember when she would just get tins of... She'd be like, yeah, let me get a cheesesteak, no bread, and it would just be a tin of just meat and cheese.
It wasn't bad, though.
Nah, but they would have to be 7 cheesesteaks worth of meat.
Not 7, but yeah.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
But what I'm referring to, a change of everything, is I have we'll call it 3 to 4 days, lost 25 pounds in liquids out of my body. And that's not exaggerating. Well, no, not 25.
It's 25.
25, yeah. 24, but at this point, probably 25. I got another 6 liters taken out of my abdomen, which is 12, 13, 14 pounds. And then these diuretics, man, that make you pee are no effing joke. Yeah. And I hate having to take them, but they work. I mean, I peed out 8 straight pounds of pee in one night.
But you got ankles again.
I do have remnants of an ankle and a leg. It's not just all one straight shape.
Yeah.
Got my compression socks on that you guys can't see. They're fancy. They're the white ones. I put my fancy ones on.
I like the white ones more. I think they're cool.
Yeah, it makes me feel like a soccer player. The black ones make me feel like old man.
Like geezer, yeah.
Yeah, but the white ones, because they have the gray and the writing on it a little bit.
Athletic,
yeah,
kind of bent to them.
It kind of looks like with Maybe I'll put a little shin guard in there and trick the neighbors to thinking that I'm like in a soccer league now.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll fall for that.
I'll go take the dogs for a walk with shin pads on.
How many do your neighbors? Not Alexis and Dale, but your other neighbors. Do they know that you almost died?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because of Facebook, and they were asking about me because both sides of neighbors at one point before I went into the hospital were kind of like, we haven't seen Gene in a while. Is he okay?
Yeah.
When I was just like dying in bed for a month and a half, basically.
Yeah, I think they thought that maybe we got in a fight and I was living by myself.
Yeah, you were hibernating.
Basically.
Shit, I didn't see you for almost a month.
Yeah.
But you're on the mend. You're on the rebound.
I'm on the mend. Yeah. Trying to make those healthy choices.
So do you think there's going to be a third draining?
Not for a little bit, I don't think. What I'm hoping is now that we got it all out, my body can just
stay on top of it.
Yeah, that I'm not drinking or putting anything crazy into it. That my body can mend what gets sent to it.
And the diuretics will help that too, to not build up.
And it's also, I mean, don't be alarmed if you do need another drainage, because like your liver doesn't just bounce back overnight. It takes time.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be other drainages. I'm just hoping it's, not, because apparently for some people it can be very often. Some people it can be one and done. We'll see.
Between your ascites drainings and your abscess drainings, I mean, you're a draining motherfucker.
Yeah. We didn't even talk about the abscess. So I had to pop a thing on my neck that I am very surprised that you couldn't handle it.
I am not a squeamish guy, but
no. I
wasn't. You know what it was? I wasn't prepared for what it was going to be like.
Yeah, because you were like, I've been watching videos, and you were the one rooting to pop it.
Well, it needed to be popped.
Yes, well, I didn't realize
it was huge.
Yeah, when you walked in that day, that was last Sunday, the first day of the NFL. Actually, right after we did that podcast, pretty much. At halftime, I was like, all right, ready to pop this thing. And we've been bouncing around anywhere from 3 to 5 ounces of liquid came out of it, is our best guess.
And not like thick, like pimple fluid. It was brown, runny stank.
Your first description was that looks exactly like melted chocolate ice cream.
It's pretty accurate. You saw the video.
Yeah,
we do have a video.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna share that one.
Why?
Well, I guess I don't care.
Yeah, what do you care?
It came out and needed to. My body, I guess, was still fighting. It still can fight. It's a good fight because it kept it from going into my brain. That was on the back of my neck where your central nervous system is and everything.
Well, and that's more a toll on your liver. Any infection like that, so it had to come out.
And where it was too, because I've previously had a procedure there, and that skin is like that type of very thin from the scarring. It filled up like a balloon, popped.
Yeah, because we had cut each other's hair like the night or two
nights before,
then, and it was like kind of noticeable.
Yeah, I pointed out to you, and you're like, I don't really even see it that much.
Yeah, it just looked like a scar.
It did just ball up perfectly, really.
So that was another draining.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's on the downslope now. We're moving forward.
Yeah, I've had the back of the neck is a gross place for me, I guess. I think it just has to do with the way I sleep, the friction. But
I think we have to keep your hair short too.
Yeah, that for sure.
Because hair is like notoriously oily.
And the fact of I have not much of a neck doesn't help. So the little bit of there's a lot of friction, and from previous having buildups there's scar tissues. So like the pores, I don't think maybe I probably have some like permanently blocked scarred pores.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised that your dermatologist didn't kind of delve into why you get them.
Going through now a serious. I think anyone who goes through enough serious stuff with doctors and hospitals, you really like to think that they're more on top of stuff than they are.
They're
that doctors
people.
Are smarter than they are.
Yeah.
They care more than they do. But, I mean, I had this thing on the back of my neck that was stopping me from sleeping for 2 nights, before it popped, really. And when we called and begged and pleaded for an appointment, they were like, we can see you in like a month and a half.
Which is crazy because now, like, having done it a few times, like, it's really not a big procedure.
Like, I could see being a new patient. I've been there. And we did it in a matter of 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So this would have been a 15-minute thing for the doctor. Like, even if you did have to squeeze me in and someone had to wait a little bit, like, you know.
Which goes to show dermatologists, at least in this area, are making a lot of money.
When we were calling before, when it was more pandemic, I mean, they were saying 2024.
Well, yeah, pandemic was a little wonky.
And I wonder if maybe I can see dermatologists having to deal with like prima donnas and stuff, like one pimple that, like, you know, I think it has a piece of yellow on it. I'm, you know, worried about they probably do have to deal with more superficial stuff. So, like, you know,
yeah.
You know, there's people out there, they get one mark on their skin and they're terrified, where I will kind of just let something blister on the back of my neck.
Well, yeah, I've seen a lot of videos of like people in, you know, the dermatologist doesn't put anyone's face in the video, but they'll show like what they're working on. And sometimes it's just like a big zit.
Yeah.
And it's like, you need to go to the doctor for this. But I mean, the doctor, of course, is going to take the appointment. They don't care.
Well, yeah, once it's in the books, that's
I hate to think that there's someone out there with a potential melanoma and they can't get in to see a doctor in 3 months.
I mean, well, shit,
because, you know, Caitlin needs a zit pop.
Yeah. And that is, you know what, that is probably a lot like the teenagers with a fucking Karen for a mom calling because she's got picture day in 2 weeks and they're worried about this fucking.
It frightens me that there are people that are so fucking dumb that if somebody has a bad zit, their first thought is, we need to get a doctor on this. I mean, and those people do exist.
Well, you know what, I did ask the dermatologist when I got the first procedure done, which was gnarly. They pulled out a golf ball out of my neck. I asked her, I was like, so, like, is most of your day just cutting this type of shit out? And she was like, no, actually, most of my day is cutting melanoma, like cancer, like, you know, small amount of cancer.
Okay.
That is a lot of what she does. And because I was like, well, I'm scared. And the way she said to me, I was like, well, I'm fair skinned. I'm always, you know, I'm worried about that. She goes, the fact that you are worried about it and that, like, sunscreen is in your vocabulary, you're already better than half the people I deal with.
I'm sure.
You know, because she deals with, like,
people that are just
older generations that are, like,
crispy. Also, there's this new generation of people who are obsessed with tanning. Yeah. And that's, like, terrible for your skin. You know the show My Strange Addiction? Mm-hmm. One of the episodes was this girl from, of course, Long Island, New York, who was addicted to tanning.
She have her own tanning bed and shit?
No, she was a member of, like, 3 different local tanning businesses, because legally you're not allowed to let someone tan more than, like, once every so often.
She's playing this system.
So she would go like 2 or 3 times a day. She looked so ridiculous. She was like a 23-year-old girl.
Yeah, dude, it gets to a point where your skin will never look normal again. Because you can tell fake tan from real tan.
But she just she, like, if you think Donald Trump is orange, this girl was like stupid look. I don't know how you can look in the mirror and think that looks good.
Yeah.
But I also don't understand how people that are, you know, 105 pounds think they're obese and won't eat. So, you know, the brain is a powerful thing, but yeah.
What I was going to say, even on the trying to get appointments, you know, there's not like a liver specialist is a very small population of doctors out there. So you got to get with what's the department or
it's the Center for Liver Disease.
Center for Liver Disease in Pittsburgh.
Where is it located? Is it in Pittsburgh?
There is one in Pittsburgh.
UPMC. It's in the city.
Okay.
Which I guess that's just is that an American thing, and they probably have like a place every major city? I'd imagine.
I'm not sure. It seemed to be affiliated with UPMC, and they kind of called it a clinic. Like when I was waiting on the phone, it said, "Learn about what our clinic does." Okay. And it's like it like helps people with liver
There's probably
disease.
like 2 of them in Pennsylvania. Like one on the east and one on the west.
Well, and it was weird because I thought it was only at like the downtown UPMC hospital, but your appointment's actually at McGee, so I think they just compile the doctors and go where they can go. Yeah.
That's another thing with the medical field, like, because then there's there's the systems, there's the insurance, like, you know, some cross toes with each other, some
I've never heard the term cross toes with each other. Did you make that up?
I did. That kind of my fingers, I don't know why I thought toes, but regardless, like, we don't even know, this could be just a Pittsburgh thing. It could be an American association. This is, you know, one of their brick and mortars or whatever. Regardless, I'm having, you know, I was told not too long ago, you might have liver failure, and we can't get an appointment with this place until December of this year.
Wow.
Like, yeah, it goes to show, like, now, thank God, now who knows if luckily I don't have liver failure, if they were like, well, you get put on the top of the list. But still, you'd think, like, hey, I'm calling as a 31-year-old. I would like to get an appointment because shit's going a little sideways. Like, all right, well, we'll see you in 2 months, 3 months.
You know what was fucked up that kind of, like, went through my mind before you got out of the hospital? Was that, like, let's say you did need a liver transplant. I looked at it from the perspective of, like, the parent of someone else who needed a liver. And, like, the hard truth is, like, I would be pissed if you got the liver.
Yeah.
And it, like, really, it had me turned inside out a little bit because I was like, at this point, I wasn't sure that you were going to bounce back. And I was like, if he needs a liver, could he get a liver?
Probably not. That was one of the first things that went through my head, of just seeing enough TV and assuming the worst, but, like, probably just from being severely overweight, they would not put me on the list.
And that's what was, like, had me messed up, because I was like, that would be one of those instances in life where you have to say, damn, that's fair, but I don't care about fair.
Oh, yeah.
Give the kid a liver. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it's one of those, like, and it could have been, we give this to a 60-year-old who's lived twice as long as I have.
Yeah.
And they just had a disease, or to someone they go, well, he's obese. He has, you know, a history of, you know, possible drinking. So, I mean, that's what he said to me. Like, he was like, if we need to put you on a list, you need to, like, have. You have to. He made it sound like you need years of sobriety to even be on the list.
Which is fair.
Yeah, no, it is.
But,
it
like,
is.
you know, I just wonder, like, if they said, like, you have a year, or you're probably gonna die if you don't get another liver. We don't have to cross that bridge, but it really had me, like, because I like to think I'm a very fair-minded person, and what's fair is fair. In that situation, I was like, I don't give a shit about fair.
Yeah, no, I don't
care, you know.
At that point, it's like, yeah, I'd slap that liver out of a 12-year-old's hand.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it gets a little dark there, but, you know, it is what it is. But, yeah, I don't think there's liver clinics of high stature just in every little town.
No.
So that you said December?
Mm-hmm.
That's not too bad.
Yeah. Well, it's
for a specialist, I was actually surprised December. I thought they were going to tell us, like, early next year.
I'm interested to see what they're going to say, because we've at the hospital, the GI follow-up, which, like, they're kind of like the liver people when there's not a liver person, is like the GI. And then, like, you know, my PC follow-up and stuff. We've asked all these people, like, there's not even a pamphlet for it. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think it's necessarily going to be new information. I think it's more so getting you established with them. So then if you have complications or you need.
For sure. But I'm saying, like, everything else, I mean, you know, all they could say is, like, yeah, just eat healthier. And I was like, that's the advice I get for. They're like, yeah, don't drink. I was like, okay, we got that locked down. I had medical assistants in the hospital telling me I can't ever have a beer again. We got that. Okay, now what else? Like, can we do some, you know, is there a superfood? Should I be eating berries or something? They're like, yeah, salt's not great, and, like, try and eat healthy. And I was like, oh, you think?
Yeah, you know, you have to remember, like, these clinics that is, like, specialized in liver, like, you're also kind of an asset to them, like, because they track all this medical information. So, like, even if they can't tell you something new, they want to have you in the system.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna start fucking trying wacky shit, dude.
Well, I mean,
I'm gonna start doing MDMA, like, once a week and being like, let's see if that fixes the liver.
Well, you can ask them about that. We'll see.
I was gonna ask the doctors, like, what can I do that doesn't affect the liver?
For the next 5 years, you're not allowed to eat salt or have any fun, and you have to wear compression socks every day.
I'm hoping the compression socks don't go that long.
And that's
for Rachel's sake.
And that's you had a good outcome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But one thing I mean, it's a process every day. Even if you don't notice it, it gets easier to make a huge adjustment like that. And you have a nice test coming up because you're going on a little vacation. And I would just suggest to you that do more than do a staycation.
Well, yeah, I mean that's up to all of us. And it's not like we're going to like a destination place.
Yeah, there's always something. Go on a little.
We do have a little like river behind us, or is that a river?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. But regardless, I mean, well, yeah, it's something. Yeah, I'll figure out a way. I'm gonna bring my laptop. I guess we'll bring chess.
Just
I've been doing
a
Sudokus.
Different environment. Get out of the house. Get out
That's
of
what I'm
the
saying. Don't
bedroom.
just stay inside the whole time. But you'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. It's not easy to make a sudden U-turn on all your favorite habits. No salt, no booze.
If I just microdose the whole time,
that's probably not a great idea.
Yeah, I would probably bug out pretty quick.
Yeah.
I haven't done a psychedelic in quite some time.
Then you'd be back in the ER with a different problem.
You think? I don't know.
I think
I'm not going to. I wouldn't even know how to be honest.
Well, you're the one who said you might bug out. And when I think of someone of your stature bugging out, you might have to be.
Yeah, but my bug out would just be like, I'll be in my room with my laptop.
Yeah.
Doing science.
But yeah, you got a vacation coming up. That's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe save up all your salt allotment for one day.
That's what I'm going to, because I want seafood, and Rachel's mom is like the only person I know that eats seafood. That's been another like interest of mine. I want to go fishing and crabbing. I watch these.
There's nowhere to crab around here.
I know.
I'll go fishing with you though.
But I watch these crabbing videos, and it looks fun. I'm gonna be on a boat.
Hand lining or crab potting?
Either one, really. Should I even just fucking off of a pontoon boat, just throw some shit in the water? Really?
We should get some fishing rods.
Well, I think it's like out of season now. Of course, like we're hitting winter when I need to like have shit to do.
You could still fish. You can fish year round. It's just you have to renew your license.
Can you?
It's not like hunting season. You're allowed to fish whenever you want to fish.
Yeah, the stuff's only frozen for like.
Well, I know not frozen. I guess I don't know.
Like it's not like you have to buy tags. Like you know how you need deer tags.
Yeah.
You don't need fish tags.
Oh, well then we'll go fish. That'll give me something. I still it's funny. I watch those videos and like especially crab, and they just shake the pots, grab the crabs. I still am afraid to grab a fish. But I really want to. Watching them, I'm like, I could do it. I'm like late at night, like last night, it's like 3:00 in the morning. I'm like watching these crabbing videos and shit. I'm like, dude, I want crab right now. I want to try crab. I've never even eaten crab legs. And I was like, dude, I want to fucking go catch my own crab and boil it and put the seasoning on and eat it. And then I'm thinking, I think if there was a crab on this table, I don't know if I could pick it up.
I can't believe you've never eaten crab.
Maybe I have.
Because I have, and I don't eat seafood, but I've eaten crab.
Like maybe I have, but not in
a fresh boil.
Not a long time.
Okay.
And if you did, it probably was mum and pop-ups.
No, I've had friends. I mean,
like, I've had crab. Don't get me wrong, but like cracking king crab legs and shit at a buffet, I've definitely never done that.
It looks like something that, if you do like it, it looks like a blast. So hopefully your new hobby can be eating seafood, I guess.
Well, then it's a hobby I got to be careful with because apparently fucking seafood is like the most sodium.
If you cook it yourself and you don't cover it in salt.
Yeah.
Then
they live in salt water.
You're not going to be fishing in salt water unless you're
Why ain't eating anything I'm catching around here, I'll tell you that.
Unless you're driving far.
Yeah, where are you going to go to Jersey to go crabbing?
And then
we'll go to Maryland.
Then you probably don't want to eat it out of Jersey water either.
No.
Crabs are already like dirt scumbags of the ocean anyway. If you're eating crab, like you're not worried about the water it comes out of, really.
No. Apparently, like, I don't know. I watched because you watch when you get videos online, you get such a fucking variance because you watch these dudes that are on bamboo boats catching these fucking Dungeness gnarly big claws like this in the mud, and they just cook it in like mud water, and they're fine.
Yeah.
Where that would kill us.
Bamboo boats, huh?
Dude, I watched this video.
So you mean like in like Asia?
Yeah, they like Cambodia or something like that. This dude
There might be freshwater
caught
crabs.
these crabs, made a thing to hang it, and just bundled a bunch of sticks together, and he had to hold the fire. Like, he's out in the middle of the ocean with like this tripod hanging off the thing, holding his bucket of crabs or his pot of crabs, and he's holding the fire like via sticks. Like, he cooks. He has to hold it for like 15 minutes. I was like, dude, this dude's working hard as shit for like what equivalent's like 4 ounces of crab, I would imagine.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You get shit off crabs. There's not a lot of meat there.
No.
Like, they crack them open and like they're like, I like the fat brain part of it, and I'm like, ew.
Yeah, like mustard. They call
it mustard.
Yeah.
And the one part that looks like the best meat,
crab mustard.
they call it dead man fingers, which is just their lungs. Like, that's the one part I'm like, that looks like the whitest. You're not supposed to eat that part. That's why I got to go.
So, and this made you in the mood to eat crab because it's not doing much for my appetite.
It's the whole thing. I don't know.
Well, I think we should do fishing first. You can't crab around here anyway, unless there's freshwater crabs I'm not aware of.
I almost bought fucking crab legs today at the grocery store, and I was just gonna wing it and be like, if I boil them, it will cook, and then I'll just melt butter. All right, we're back.
And diuretics are keeping you.
Dude, it's so frustrating being here and then having to try and sprint 2 flights of stairs to not piss myself. They come like a fucking banshee, dude. When I have to piss, it's just now.
Is it like hot coming out?
It's fucking piss coming out. Like, I
know it's not cold pee.
When I'm pulling my dick out, piss is already happening.
Wow.
And that's even going from my bed to the bathroom. You know how many underwear I've gone through? Like, I'm going through like 7 pairs of underwear a night right now.
Literally?
Dude, like, by the time I get up out of bed to get to the bathroom, piss is coming out of me.
Man, those diuretics are no joke.
He's on 2.
I'm tired. I'm like wanting to sleep. I'm very lucky I haven't pissed the bed like just a full-on piss because I keep getting the dream I'm in front of the toilet.
Wow. I mean, I didn't know diuretics really overloaded your system like that.
Well, and he had so much fluid in him. Like, looking at his ankles today versus a couple days ago, like, no wonder he was peeing because there was a lot drained out of there.
I mean, I've always had a very quick trigger bladder and a baby bladder. It is annoying.
Yeah, it's not a new thing for you to complain about having to pee a lot.
But this, it's because when there's no warning. And, like, it's the thing, like, I'm not ashamed. I wet the bed late into life. So even now,
we've talked about on the podcast.
Yeah,
before.
as a 31-year-old like, even at 31 years old, before I go to bed, I will sit there for 5 minutes and go, like, do I have to pee? And normally will force myself to at least stand over the toilet. And then when I'm brushing my teeth, I'm going, all right, do I feel anything? Because once I fall...
this shit's in your head, huh? And this is before the diuretics?
Yeah. And this, like...
I guess I can see how being a bedwetter late into your adolescence, I can see how that could...
Oh, dude, Dad used to ream me. I was terrified of having to wake up Mom, and because you can't just wake up one and being like 12 years old and being like, I peed the bed, and just like knowing your parents hate you right now.
I don't even remember. That's so funny.
Well, that's because I probably wasn't wanting you to know. But yeah, being like, I mean, it got to the point I went to bed late enough where I started fixing my own problem. I started changing my own sheets, like
hiding it.
Yeah, because it was embarrassing. Like, and it literally was because I slept so hard, my body just wouldn't wake up to go to the bathroom.
No, I now that once you said, I kind of remember that, like, you literally slept hard as shit. But this is an interesting transition, kind of. Let's talk about this. As a parent, we're not parents, but I'm saying, is it okay to kind of use humiliation to fix bad behavior?
I think that fucks you up, and I think...
So what do you encourage? It's okay? You just tell them it's okay? You'll grow out of it? I think you need to make a child, like a kid, aware like this has to change.
It wasn't humiliation. Well, it was just aggression. It was just, and I can't blame them. Both being tired in the middle of the night, getting woken up for someone who should not be pissing the bed anymore, to have to change sheets.
But that's not something that, like, you weren't consciously getting up and pissing on your bed.
Yeah, but when you wake up, your brain doesn't go immediately to being a full functioning and rational human being. Waking up super tired. We're working a 9 to 5. It's a Wednesday at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I'm just saying you should never humiliate your child and make them feel like shit.
I don't think they were humiliating. They were just mad, and he was humiliating. I don't think they were like putting him on the front stoop with a sign that said bedwetter.
No, but there was clear anger. And I in the moment, I'm like, I don't blame you, but I don't know what to do.
And I also think it's real easy to critique someone else until you're in that situation.
Yeah,
I think there's a fine line. I don't think you should just berate somebody about it, but it has to be made not okay.
It's not easy to happily change sheets at 4 o'clock in the morning when you have to, you work. You count every minute of, I get another 3 hours and 45 minutes of sleep, and and then you get woken up and go, I have to. It's fucking Tuesday. It's not even Thursday yet, and I'm dealing with this.
You've woken me up a million times in the middle of the night, and I
You're
didn't yell at you.
Though, Rachel. You're probably more pleasant in the middle of the night. Nobody in my family is approachable when they're tired for at least an hour.
Yeah, you're right. You're better. No one has said not that.
You never said I was better.
Well, that's what you're angling at.
No.
Because yes, you are. When you wake up, you're a way more rational human being than anybody in our family.
Maybe I'm fucking mad, but
she keeps it. Keeps it on the low.
Not trying to make you feel like shit.
Okay, well,
but my critique and my theory here is maybe people need to feel like shit sometimes, even kids.
And I did. Enough where it stuck with me. It will be probably stuck with me the rest of my life.
That's what I'm saying. Shit fucked you up.
But is that a bad thing? I'm asking honestly because there is part of me that says like we've gone so far to the appeasement type of parenting, where like I think there is an acceptable level of like, dude, you're 12. I don't have the answers. It's an interesting question to me.
Also, and to throw into the vein of that is, there was things they could have been doing probably. Like they could have, all right, don't drink. It's 8 o'clock. No more liquids for Gene now.
We
true. Never had any like that. Wasn't
well-read.
Yeah, that wasn't getting thrown into the equation. I never really. I put my whole life. I've put myself to bed like because I'm like I'm tired. I need at least 8 to 9 hours. Like my parents never made me go to bed,
which is bullshit because I had a bedtime.
Well, you would stay up. I put myself to sleep. It would be different if it was 1 o'clock in the morning and I was playing video games. Maybe then.
No, I'm saying like when I was like in elementary school, I had to be in bed at 9 o'clock.
Well, in elementary school, I was going to bed with she was driving the bus, so I was going to bed like 8 o'clock with her. I do remember that.
So. You went to bed and you went to bed with mom?
I slept with mom way too late.
I didn't know that either. What was I doing all the time?
Oh, well, the old house.
Okay.
When we moved to the new house, that was a rule that I wasn't allowed to, I no longer was allowed to sleep with mom. Yeah, I was terrified of the dark. I was terrified.
Yeah,
terrified
I remember
of the dark.
when we lived, when we had the upstairs addition, like you very rarely slept in your room.
I've never once slept in that room by myself.
You were either in my room, I guess, with mom. But
that is also where we had the air conditioners. To a little bit of my defense, and the TVs.
Yeah, the window air conditioner, the good kind.
Yeah, to get real cold.
You can't get a room colder than a window unit.
Yeah. So, my shit's fucked up from that. But once again, I mean, there's plastic sheets. Shit, I think now they probably even have back then. They like make underwear. I think that have an alarm if they get wet or something.
Well, yeah, we're talking about back in 1995. This is a different era.
I mean, shit. When I was 12, I was after 9/11.
Yeah.
There was, like I said, there was things that could have been done, but they just were like, well, every other week we're just gonna wake up angry, and
there's a lot going on. And I feel kind of you know, I set the bar high because I didn't wet the bed. And they were like, why is he wetting the bed? The other one didn't wet the bed. He's a piece of shit. Let's throw him in the closet.
And also having, like, you know, digestive issues, too. And I'm a nervous pooper.
It is hard to square because you met my mom. She's awesome. It's hard to imagine her yelling at a 12-year-old for peeing the bed. But she did care a lot about her clean linens and bedding.
Yeah.
She would ask me what, like, you know, what comforter I wanted for the next season. And I'd be like she was into that shit. She loved that shit.
Well, yeah, and, like, I'd pee the bed and then, like, because it wasn't just, like, you know, like, she would clean the whole mattress, like,
that
deep clean. So, like, this wasn't a 10-minute thing. This is, all right, she would be up for an hour cleaning this mattress.
Which you would think for that reason she would want to get, like, a plastic cover or
you
something.
Would think so. But she, you know, she had a lot. We had a lot of stuff going on.
In her defense, stop pissing the bed. You know, but I
and remember, I mean, there's a big difference in people who grew up in the 70s and 60s. Just the entire view of what parenting was, as opposed to now.
She also had a thing against plastic on furniture.
Yeah, that too. Because
she was very anti it.
Because her mom and grandmom kept plastic on their brand new couches.
And also just like. Could you imagine having plastic under your sheets? How loud and uncomfortable that...
Maybe that would motivate you to not pee in the bed.
No, I had plenty of motivation not to piss the bed.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's like it's a problem. It's not something that you can yell at somebody and they don't do it anymore.
It's not like stealing. You're right. He was asleep when he would do it.
Yeah. And I wasn't getting yelled at. It was just a general...
You could tell they were mad.
Yeah, like, where do you go when you just stand in the corner and go, like... Because I'm tired, too. I want to go back to bed. You stand in the corner, and Dad, them reluctantly pulling piss sheets off. And Dad's probably like, that's good enough. And then Mom's like, no, go fill the fucking bleach bucket up.
Yeah, she was a big, get hot-ass water in a bucket and put some vinegar in it. Yeah, that's a good... I didn't even think about that angle. Like, the way she was about cleaning things, it was like an hour and a half.
And at 12, 13 years old... This isn't a little kid. That's a full piss. It's going mostly there might have been times they had to flip the mattress to get the underside because there was enough piss went through.
Yeah, it's notoriously difficult to get fluids out of a mattress.
Yeah, I'm surprised your mattress wasn't stanky.
Yeah, all yellow, like the water boy. Remember his yellow pea sheets?
That's because she cleaned the hell out of them.
Right.
And then, like, you know, because also you'd have to hop in the shower too. Because I'd have, you know, peel over your legs and stuff.
Yeah, if you don't wash it up, you have a rash the next morning.
Mm-hmm. You got to get in the shower and then stand there in the towel. And
our cousin Joe, if you hear this, I now remember, I think he had a bedwetting problem too. And we're all grown up. It's not embarrassing. But, you know, maybe there's a connection there. I'm pretty sure he was a bedwetter.
A lot of it, I mean, I know for me, and it's just being too tired to wake up. It was my dream. I'm in front of a toilet,
and it's your baby bladder.
Yeah,
that's because you do have a baby bladder. I mean, shit, you would drink 3 beers and be up in, every 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
But it is funny, like from my point of view, like it was never even on my radar. So like it is hard to it's hard to
dude,
wake up in the middle of the night and be like
building that courage to open that door.
What door?
Mom and Dad's bedroom. To stand in front of there and go,
I did it again.
And open the door, and you know they got their air conditioning in the window unit there, so their room is perfect for sleeping. They're asleep.
Out cold.
And have to, like, they didn't, you know, you had to screw in the light bulb for a while for the one light.
Is this really interesting for me how vivid these memories are?
And have to go and sneak over to Mom's side. But I know they're both waking up, Maham.
With tears in your eyes.
Yeah, and then
you're tearing up a little bit right now.
Yeah, it was fucking...
just how stressful of a memory that is to you.
Clearly,
like,
it really was.
Yeah. Fucked you up.
What the fuck? Again?
See, that's yelling.
It is like, really, this is fascinating for me as someone who was in the house. I don't remember any of this.
You might have been downstairs playing EverQuest. You might have just been.
Nah.
I think this is something you need to talk to a therapist about.
Yeah. Well, this is therapy. That's why we started the You Be Aight
Well,
podcast.
maybe that's why I get so frustrated when I have to piss. Maybe there is some fucking tick in the back of me that goes. My body goes, yeah, go ahead and piss on yourself.
There definitely is a factor of that.
You piece of shit. You don't deserve a normal toilet.
Just sleep in the bathroom.
You sit when you pee.
For those out there, my mom was a wonderful, wonderful woman. And it is kind of
shaking them awake.
There's also an aspect of your personality that makes this more traumatic than I think it would be for some other people.
Me doing math going, she wakes up at 7:54.
Yeah, like these thoughts are not going.
I think she said she's going to get a bath this morning, so that's actually an hour earlier. Mom, you have 3 hours, and you need to spend the next hour cleaning my pee off of me in my bed.
Yeah. Speaking of baths, how did you get Rachel? Did you bathe in a bath, or were you a shower person growing up? Do you remember? And not talking like when you're a toddler. Obviously, you're.
Okay, yeah. To my memory, I was always a shower. I would take a bath every once in a while, like for fun.
Right.
But then I would end it with a shower. Like I didn't bathe to get clean.
Right. There's an age where it's fun to get in a bath. Like I used to bring my GI Joe. I had a GI Joe warboat. Oh my god, dude!
I never got toys in the bath.
You were like, you had a bad childhood sometimes. The way you talk about it.
I didn't have a bad childhood, but like you've said things like that before.
Ruined a lot of fun for you.
You've said
kid.
things like that before, and I don't remember ever playing with a toy in the bathtub. I remember getting pushed to like shower.
Okay.
Quickly, like just get in there and fucking rinse off. And at the old house in the summer, it was just jump in the pool.
Yeah, I remember you would go the whole summer without doing anything, but we would swim every single day.
Yeah, until my hair was white from.
We had to pull him out of the pool.
You wouldn't like rinse the chlorine off your skin.
No, no.
And we filled our pool up with crick water, so like we used a lot of chemicals in there. But I love that. I love the smell of chlorine. Like
who doesn't?
A lot of people.
So you grew up mostly showering. Once you were over the age where playing for fun in the bathtub.
Yeah.
So like after the age of like 10-ish, you were a shower person.
Yeah.
What about you?
I don't remember baths that much.
Okay.
I would sometimes take a bath like
for relaxation.
For a special relaxing.
See,
I have two memories of a bath. One was when it was draining, laying on my stomach with my wiener and sliding around because it kind of felt good.
All boys go through that.
That, and then one time this was at the old house, Dad was on the phone with Up, and for some reason there was some sort of Gatorade bottle or water bottle, and I was just like suctioning my wiener with it.
Yeah.
And Dad turned and goes, "What the fuck?" And tells Papa, I was like, "He's putting his wiener in a bottle."
That's just part of life. Girls do weird shit with their vaginas.
But yeah, that was just that.
I have a vivid memory of you smacking your pecker with the bathroom door, like back and forth.
Just figuring that thing out.
That's how. I mean, boys, it's fun. That thing down there. I mean,
well, especially when the water drained out too, because like it was so slippery. So like it felt like you were fucking.
So see, you did have some bath time fun.
That's the last I remember of bath. But I remember quickly being like, just shower real fast, like throw you in the shower, and like it was like shampoo and like just let that rinse down.
I had to get showers with Dad all the time, and we used to call like your pecker
bird
like when you grow up. Yeah, it was your bird, and it had a little nest around it because it was hairy. You know what I mean?
I've told people that, and they find it so weird that like that was our term for a wiener, was a bird. I remember in high school one time.
Why is that weird? I think that's pretty. Isn't that normal? What else do you call it? Penis? You don't talk like that with your.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, because for us, that's our
wiener.
That
I do remember when I was with Rebecca, and I was around a 4 or 5-year-old little girl. They would refer to like her private parts as her body, and I was like, "It's a pee-pee." that's unisex. It works for boys and girls. I'm not calling, like, because I had to do bath time and shit.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to make sure you wash your body. Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
In my head, washing my body is
Exactly.
like my armpits
They were
and
weird,
my
though.
like
They listen
stomach.
to Christian music and shit. But they didn't like that I brought the word pee-pee into the house. I was like, it's perfect.
Yeah, it works for...
Yeah.
Your peeps. And she loved it. Your peeps and beehole. She caught on that real quick. But anyway, I think I definitely had the most prolonged childhood here.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I remember getting baths until I was, There was times, because when growing up, like, you take a bath with your mom.
Well, this doesn't really count, but when I was in a cast, I'd have to get baths.
That's because you kind of have to.
I remember
I had that too.
At the mountain house, because it wasn't a tub. It was just like the stall, having to try and like turn that into a bathtub, because I'd get filthy up there.
Yeah.
And like, the rim was like, it's like a 3-inch rim to keep the water in, and like puddle bathing. I remember like in that.
Well, it had like this much clearance. I used to sit in that shower for hours.
That shower's awesome.
It was amazing.
Dude.
Fresh mountain water.
Yeah.
And, like, it seemed to have endless hot water. And let's be honest, like, sometimes there wasn't a whole lot to do up there, especially at night. I would just get long ass showers. But I'll never forget my friend Barry. We were probably in like 3rd grade. It was like the first time I had a sleepover, and like I said, I had a pretty. We didn't have neighbor. I didn't spend a lot of time with other little kids until like elementary school. And I remember he was sleeping over, and I thought like it was like we were gonna get a shower together. And he was like, what? Like, no, like we're not. What? And I was like, I just thought that's
what we
were
do. I thought.
Yeah.
I remember I took showers and baths with my friends until like high school.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think because he was raised by a single father who
Oh,
was
yeah.
rough around the edges guy.
I was gonna say you're lucky that like mom and dad had a good relationship with Barry Sr. and was like, why is my boy telling me you was trying to bathe
at the house or something?
Yeah, nowadays he'd be in trouble. Back then it was like I thought he was excited to bathe with his buddy.
And I got the straight dope. Right in that moment, I realized, time to grow up, Steven. You don't take showers with your friends anymore.
Didn't you bug out? Like, didn't it take a while for you to be able to sleep over places? Didn't you?
I used to get really homesick, even with family. I would go to. You want to talk about pissing our parents off? They would drop me off almost 2 hours away in Egg Harbor with our grandparents,
my God.
and like clockwork, dude. Like 10:30 would hit, and I would lose. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep. I would got homesick in a really fierce way.
I can't believe that they did like.
And
old school, like, I can't believe my mom didn't rub some fucking rum on your gums and be like, go lay down again.
And I'm talking like this didn't happen 1 or 2 times. This happened like a lot. And they kept trying it.
Have to drive through the Pine Barrens at night, too. That's like not an easy drive.
And everybody, see, they might have been really harsh on me, but I don't have the same mentality as you. So I was like, I didn't even, it went over my shoulder. Like, I don't care if I'm in trouble. Like, I want my mom.
Yeah, I went straight to like being, I slept over all. I've never got like homesick or afraid.
Remember, I grew up by myself.
Yeah.
I didn't have a brother. I was not used to like being out.
I'm trying to think. I feel like I was really excited to start sleeping places.
I know, like my mom was like,
a bitch. I was a homesick pussy.
I know, like my mom would get offended because I would like not want to be home. Like not to me, but I'm like, there's either stuff going on.
Yeah.
I'll be out all weekend.
Well, plus that was like we lived in a neighborhood then. There were kids all around, but yeah, we got a lot accomplished in this episode. This was a bit of a therapy session.
Yeah, I apparently I got some.
Listen, I watch a lot of podcasts on history and politics and sports, all kinds of stuff. I don't get this in other podcasts. I mean, you exercise some demons, couple tears.
You know, I've almost teared up on this podcast like 3 times now.
That's what we were bringing to the table is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's why it was about peeing the bed, too.
This is the real deal. Holyfield.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of podcasts. You don't get this.
I wonder how long it'll be stuck in the back of my brain. It really is like, it's subconscious of... Like, do I gotta pee? Do I gotta pee? Do I gotta pee?
Well, I got news for you. You're 31 now. It's never going away.
I know. That's the thing.
If it's there
when
now.
Dad tells me how much he pee, like, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna.
That's why you need to work this out with a therapist and then fix.
Well,
fix
no,
your
eventually your
brain.
wiener just and prostate stop doing what.
The good news is, you take after mom.
Yeah, but
I'm gonna have the prostate problem.
you better get fucking something, man. I'm getting all the shit ends of the stick
Don't
anymore.
wish that bad juju on me, dude.
If you can get a pee problem, okay.
Maybe it's just the attitude.
Oh yeah,
I do. I hope that we've all grown from this episode, and I want everybody out there to know they're gonna be alright.
You'll be all right.
Kind of have an attitude of gratitude, you know, because this kid almost died like a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Was the camera on? My leg gave out. Did you turn the camera off as soon as I went upstairs?
A little bit after.
We probably heard it.
Dude, my leg gave out.
I heard.
I think because I sit low, and I was trying I
You
got
went
like
numb a little bit.
dude. I was like, and for a quick second when I called myself, I was like, I thought I was gonna piss myself on that.
Well, you had to
fucking
pee
step.
so bad you tried to skip first and second gear.
Mm-hmm.
What would you have done if you tripped on the stairs and peed your pants?
Episode over.
Why? That is the gold. That's how we get.
Because well, you know what would suck is once it's because it would have been a full piss. Like there's no stopping it. So I would have sat on there and like, guys, I'm peeing right now. Rachel, I guess I would be like, start grabbing towels.
It's funny because I've been around you so much my whole life, and I'm 6 years older than you. Like I have this, I can't help but like get a kick out of when shit's going on with you, because otherwise it would be like
It would be it sucked.
I would be-
if I couldn't laugh, it would be
I
traumatic.
would be on edge all the time. If when you got mad because you had to go upstairs to take a piss, if I was like, oh, is he gonna be okay? Oh, this is messed up, man.
Maybe
It is-
that's why I'm the way I am.
Oh yeah,
because-
okay. Now you have problems from being around me, huh? Miss Perfect Childhood. Freaking! Not only was he a only child, but basically he had like older brothers that were like 40 that were also like buying you toys and shit.
Yeah, she wasn't an only child at all. She just grew up and
She got
was the
special-
young- she was the ultra
super
baby.
special
She was the
treatment.
baby. Yeah.
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 And then
Did
she
I
goes,
turn-
things were weird. That's weird that happened to you. And I was like, yeah, because I grew up in a real house.
At least we had a swimming pool. You know, no swimming
Yeah.
pool.
I turned out okay. I'm nice to you. So.
No, you.
Somehow,
Yeah.
miraculously. But you, I mean, we could really. Your childhood is interesting because your father's like a devout Muslim. So like,
and you were spoiled.
we were pretty spoiled too.
Yeah,
We were pretty. Come on, let's be honest.
but she got to like see castles when she was like 8. What a waste.
Why is it a waste?
What kind of castles?
Like Scotland and
Castles
shit.
Oh yeah, we only talked about one day going to Europe. We never went.
Well, I saw a lot of stuff, and then I was like, I'm never traveling again.
Yeah, well, you had to go to Indonesia. That's a rough trip. But hey, dude, you hate traveling. The one vacation you
True.
went on, you fucking ruined it. You want to talk about traumatic? You ruined Disney World for the whole family.
They shouldn't have taken me. That's their own fault. It's your own fault. You know, I
Disney
didn't
World.
like the dark. I didn't like the dark.
Oh.
And we went in the hottest time. None of our family's great in the heat.
It's hot. It's hot down there year round, basically.
That's why I like staycations. I like the cabin. I was lucky. The cabin was perfect timing for me. To ride my quad around, that was a good time. But, yeah, I guess this was a therapeutic session here.
Isn't that the original goal of the show?
For my friends out there that have kids, when they pee the bed, just try to be cool about it. Because if not, they'll be 31 and they'll have an epitome on camera that I think they need to.
I don't think that was the right word there, but
Not
we'll go with it.
epitome. What's the word?
Mental breakdown.
An epiphany.
An epiphany,
there you
yeah,
go.
that maybe they should call BetterHelp.com or whatever the hell that.
Or maybe, as I suggested, it's good to not coddle someone who's peeing the bed.
Yeah,
Don't yell at your kids.
No, don't shame them, but it can't be okay. I
Mhm.
firmly believe that.
yeah.
Everything's not okay. There's a way to do it.
When puberty and peeing the bed is overlapping,
It's not okay.
it's not okay. You know,
You were that old? I don't think you were that. I thought you were like 10, 11.
I was getting into like 12, 13, 14.
Okay.
One time I peed the bed and I got to take a sick day.
Really?
Yeah, I stayed home from school
I
and
will
watched
say
Bill Nye.
the one like the thing, and I said this at her wake, like not having, we'll call it non-conventional parenting. I had so much good. Sometimes I would just tell my mom like, I'm not going to school today. I was like, I'm too tired.
Yeah.
She go, okay. Like, do you have any? She's like, do you have any tests? I'm like, I don't know. She's like, we're not gonna fail you. So I got that out of it.
She was
luckily.
right. Yes, they didn't fail you.
And she would like, you know what? Me too. Fuck it. Let's play hooky. Let's go to the diner and get some food. But all right.
Love you, Mom.
Love you.
Miss you, Mom.
Love everyone out there. You be all right. Once again, I am Gene Labordi, co-host Steven Labordi, doing our thing. Rachel back there. Yeah, go Birds, 2-0. Rachel back there being all judgmental because of her awesome upbringing, apparently.
I never judge.
What a judgmental bitch. That's doing all the hard work and making all this product content for you. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good day, and don't drink fluids like an hour before bed, or sometimes you'll wet it.